from 96 to 2003.
That's a third strike. How much time did they shoot? 24 to life.
And they don't give you no good time, good behavior.
Do 85% of whatever they gave.
I feel like my life on the line. Jungle in these streets, take the beats on the line. Hustle to increase, put it all on the line. House to spouse, family freedom, walking yards on the line. Every day I wake up like my life on the line. Jungle in these streets, take the beats on the line.
What up, what up, what up?
Going on
Fomby, what's
squares
going
everywhere.
on, man? What you doing back there? Yeah, welcome to
Squares.
another one. We back on with On the Line podcast. Junior, JJ, Fomby, what's happening with you guys out there? Thank you again for tuning in with us. Fomby, what's on the line today?
Everything ain't a game, man. Everything's not a game.
Oh, no, everything ain't a game. But before we get into that, if you just tuned in with us and you've been rocking with us, these are the platforms you can always catch us on. It's Amazon Music. Okay, these are for the listeners. This is audio. Amazon Music, Stitcher, iHeart, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. Also Pandora. And if you go there, wear the logo with the roulette table because it's a few on the line, but that's our logo with the roulette table. Those are the sites you can catch us on for the audio listeners who don't view us. So once again, thank you, and hit the subscribe button when you get a chance. Fomby, everything ain't a game.
Yep.
And what do you mean by that?
For sure. Now, for our viewers, listen, we're on Instagram Live, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitch, we're on Roku, and Vimeo on demand. Repeat, we're on Instagram Live, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitch Live, and on Roku and Vimeo Live on demand. On demand. Those are the ones where those for people can look at us.
Oh yeah.
Like that. You can see me do this. You can see me do this. You watching me.
Yeah, for sure. So you said something about something serious that you're gonna tap into today. Everything is not a game.
Real talk.
Is that yes? Yeah, it's real serious out here that's going on, and people who, as we always say on the show, for real, not for play. And people out here are not playing.
Most definitely. Doing my surveillance of through the internet and real life, more like real life, less internet, real life. A lot of people have, and of course, in this pandemic times we're in now, a lot of people think everything is for play when it really is not. And a lot of them become just victims. And they get caught up in, the television. They get caught up in watching a lot of movies at home. And so they start thinking they're in the movie. They're in disillusion. So we're here today on this platform to reassure you everything ain't for play and everything ain't a game.
No, it's not. It's not. People out here are getting, their lives taken, putting themselves in a position to get their life took. And you have to be more cognizant and aware of other people's space. Never mind the 6 feet apart and all that. This is for real. This is before all that. You got to respect people's position that they pushing, and if not, you're going to end up on the other side of the ground. And, if you don't understand what that means, you're going to be in the grave or in a hospital somewhere. So throughout this show, we're going to talk about, things that people are not playing with, whether it be their personal life, their pockets, their female, whatever the case may be. People out here are serious.
Correct, because you can run up on a nut real quick. And there's a lot of them out here, man. They going nutty than a fruitcake, for real, not for play. And I mean by that is they losing their minds, they losing their homes, they losing their family members. Then this happened like this. It ain't just it's a combination of bad health, illness, accidents, and then the pandemic stuff. So it's a collage of things taking place that's unstabilizing people. People losing, they're falling out of relationships, they're falling out of relationships with their loved ones through mental breakdown of what's going on, this big old ball. A lot of people are unstable at this time in the world. It's just not like here where we at and it's the only spot popping. It's popping all over. And so the content that we're going to be reviewing, I mean, for that all the viewers know, if you got any young kids or if you're fragile on seeing stuff, you might don't want to watch this show or watch the clips that we're going to play. Because, repeat, if you got any young children, you want to remove them from the room, or you need to get up out the room from where they at if you're going to be looking at this content that we're going to start playing. Times have changed to where we could just sit down and watch somebody get slaughtered, literally, on video in 2-3 minutes, and then we watch it, get up and go eat a donut and be good. We still breathing, still moving. And we're not talking about from the aspect like we some super dudes and nothing like that. We've been in many conflicts, been on the streets and in the facilities. So we know danger when we see it. You smell like it's good bud. You can smell it a mile away, So we're trained experts in this. You know what I'm saying? We're not invincible, but we're trained experts. What we have learned in our life lessons in different facilities and in the streets and where we grew up at. He grew up in Compton. I grew up in Long Beach. So we're talking about in California. So this same things that other people can see that's up like us, me and Junior and myself, we're trained individuals that we can spot stuff a mile away. But we're not the only one with this gift. There's other individuals in different states and different countries have the same ability. It's not a bunch of them. There's enough of us in different places in different parts of the country that had this ability. So based on that, we want to just, again, remind you, if you have any young kids or you can't watch some certain stuff, you might want to back away from this table, right? Because we finna give it to you raw. We ain't going to make no bread off this because they're going to be hating on it. Running clips, Control.
Video shows members of two rival gangs opening fire right in the middle of this busy Denver car wash and right in front of kids.
2 people were killed. One of the gang members was sentenced in federal court today. And only on Denver 7, Jennifer Kovaleski sat down with the ATF. Jen, they were able to charge this guy even though they never found the gun?
And the ATF says it's rare they're able to file federal charges without a weapon. But thanks to the video and shell casings left behind from all of these bullet holes, they were able to charge him. Tonight, we're getting a rare look inside the case.
It was the middle of the afternoon at a popular gas station.
A beef between the Crips and Bloods. Gunfire just steps away from 2 innocent young children at this car wash off 35th and Downing.
You see those 2 kids there in the minivan, and every time I think, thank God they weren't hit.
It starts when the guy in white notices a group of rival gang members.
Some posturing going on, and just about in a split second, you're going to see gunfire.
2 people are hit. The guy in white runs back to the car wash, gets the gun from his friend, and fires back.
There it is. And then if you notice the shell casing went on top of the vehicle there, that's going to be later recovered by investigators.
Chris Ammon with the ATF says it's that evidence, along with the video, that helped put 39-year-old Diedrich Mayfield behind bars.
It is rare that ATF charges just ammunition, but in this case, we were able to ensure that he was taken off the street.
Ammon says they usually need the smoking gun or firearm to charge someone.
In this case, we never recovered the firearm, but the statute says firearm or ammunition. So you don't necessarily need the firearm to charge a convicted felon.
Which is why the ATF says it hopes Mayfield's sentence sends a strong message.
We won't tolerate that here, and we will get you by any means necessary.
Tomorrow marks the anniversary of the
Yeah. Real quick, for those that are tuning in with us, we just want to let you know that we are not advocating or promoting or trying to push this type of behavior out into the world, which is already out there. We just want to let you know we're not promoting this or advocate. We're just letting you know these are the type of things that happen in every city. No matter where you go, it happens. So we're just letting you know that we're not promoting it or advocating, but this is real and it happens.
Correct. What for the audio listeners, the footage that we were reviewing was basically a shootout at a car wash. Two clicks catch eyes with each other, and firearms come out, and bullets went to flying. Well, that was an ugly scene right there. Whew, man.
You know what is the backlash to all that? At the end, you hear the agent say, "We don't need a gun to convict you." So for all y'all people out there getting loose and living reckless and think, "Oh, I'll just toss the weapon, or I can, slide the whoop wop away, they won't catch me." He said, this is federal now. He said, we don't need the weapon. We just get the ammunition and we good. That means they can convict you just off the ammunition that was used in whatever you were doing. So keep in mind, always tossing the yaya out the window ain't gonna work.
Yeah, man, that was my younger days, you know what I mean? Woo. Boy, that was I'm tripping off 2 or 3 things about that whole get down. My number one things with them kids was right there.
Yeah, that's just plain raggedy, man.
There was some young children with their parents in a car. The parents weren't doing nothing. They just up at a store or washing their car, and it go down right there. So I'm gonna just let the people, the younger ones, the older ones, the ones who think they slick, however you want to be titled, for those of viewing it. Let's get you some real stuff. Here in California, in the CDCR, in LA County, you don't want to be going to jail for shooting no kid. I'm gonna tell you right now, they're gonna run your ass. Yeah, it's gonna be bad for you on the yard. You can explain yourself all day. It's gonna be bad. Few things you don't want to go to prison for or jail, and that's one of them things you don't want to. That's ugly, dog. That's ugly inside the institution, and it's super duper ugly inside the courthouse. They ain't got no mercy for you. So thank you, God, in that footage that the children were harmed. So going on to the next thing, this is a prime example from when I grew up. I hate to say this because I'm like, oh man, in my era, that was the definition on site.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That was what when you hear the term, if you haven't, today I'm gonna lace you up. I'm gonna put you up on something. A lot of y'all ain't squares. Y'all don't know nothing. You think you popping when you ain't popping. That was the definition on site, right there. On site means when I see you, I see one of you. Like I got my eye, I see you, and I recognize you one of them. You one of the ops. Yeah, there ain't no talking right here. I want me to just get on my stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's what they did. They really stood back, look. That is one. Then they went down. And man, that crossfire could be dangerous. So
yeah,
that's what that was. That was that definition on site, man. Luckily, the child didn't get hit. No innocent bystanders were hit. But man, it usually come out ugly.
Yeah, it was just chaotic, and we have more, to show you and to explain to you the back and forth of what's going on.
Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna say this quick. Control, put the camera on. That's a joke, man. But I'm not joking about the situation. I want to say was the key element was they ain't got no pistol. They just got the shell. They gonna twist you up and lock you down for the shell. In California, they had a law where they were putting people in jail for murder and didn't even have a body. I was on the yard with a dude that didn't have no body, and they locked him up. They said what somebody did. They didn't never proved the man had a body on the case. And they locked him up like 15, something like 20 years ago. He probably could look the case up. Dude on the yard, he like, man, I'm gonna get out of jail one day. They messed around and somebody said something because they on their deathbed or hating that he was still living, or wherever how information came into the court that they found, or the court or whoever found the body eventually long down the road. But it was like 15, 20 years. This dude is on the yard, got convicted of a murder that never had a body. So that reflects me back to that case. I ain't never knew that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I ain't no Einstein, but then you just didn't go to the state prison. You went to the federal prison. Whew, that's vicious.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They're gonna lock you down.
And a lot of now these days, they got the drums and that, et cetera, and they let them run off and leave them cases down. Woo! Man, all right. Next clip, Control. All right. Won't be no next clip at this time. Junior, you want to further elaborate on that? What I was saying?
Well, basically, man, you told them everything. You gotta watch what you're doing. I know everybody, the old term that we used to use when we was out there backsliding is everybody want to get their man, but you got to be careful how you do it. You know what I mean? It's because you don't know what innocent bystander you might hit and who they connected or related to, and that can put your whole hood, your whole family, your whole existence in jeopardy. And that's something you do not want. Trust and believe that. I didn't see a few instances where, you don't want that. So just if you're trying to get your man, hey, I ain't gonna give you no instructions, but we
ain't advise you how you do your thing. We just showing that the footage is out in the world, and we just reviewing the footage. We're not instructing you how to be this or that. We just let you know, man. That's all. We just here to we just viewers, man. Like we sitting in the house. See, you don't get this on regular TV, but you're gonna get this today. You're gonna get this today, and you'll get on demand on Roku TV. That's what you is gonna get, and on demand on Vimeo.
You know what I think?
Demand.
I think
different right here. This we talking that talk.
I think people who out there, they know, they just, getting it out their system, if you will. But one thing I can say that is for real, not for play. Everything you do is all a numbers game. And eventually, your number is going to be called.
Oh, no, now hit the lottery, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's all a numbers game. That's it. Everything you do is a numbers game. That's all it, because even when you going through your stages and making your name for yourself and, whatever you doing, there's always somebody up and coming. There's somebody coming through the ranks.
Oh, yeah.
When you gone, you laying down or sitting down, what they gonna say is, yeah, he was a rider and blah, blah, blah. But this dude over here, that you just gonna be a memory, So going to make your name for yourself and, and enjoy your youth while you can, because, you just speeding up the process. And I'm telling you, man, even now with all the technology out here and, things is just wide open. It's not like 20, 30 years ago, where everybody was zip lip and no cameras and nobody filming every little fucking thing you do. You can even get caught doing some shit on the house ring. That is very accurate.
Hold on, Junior. This ain't church, man. We ain't got time to preach to him. We're gonna talk that talk though. You preaching right now.
I'm just trying to give him a lifeline, man. No, nobody gave me a lifeline, so I'm just trying to give him a lifeline.
We gotta put back. Hey, look. These squares everywhere. We talking to some squares. We ain't talking no real street live. You know what I'm saying? Control. Run the footage, please.
We might.
Neighbors. It happened during that huge snowstorm that hit the nation this week. The dispute, snow shoveling.
Come in, step out here, I'll knock your ass out.
Within minutes of the nasty fight breaking out, all three of these people will be dead. Police say James and Lisa Goy were shoveling snow onto their neighbor's property near Scranton, Pennsylvania. They started yelling insults at each other.
I'll make your life a living hell living here.
But then 47-year-old Jeffrey Spade pulls out a handgun. You can hear the woman dare him to shoot.
Go ahead!
And then he does. The first 4 bullets miss, but then the husband is hit. We're freezing the video. You can hear him scream out. Then his wife is gunned down.
Oh my God!
Stunned neighbors come out of their homes.
Are you okay? You want help up? Are you okay?
They all run away when they see their neighbor coming back, armed this time with an assault rifle. At this point, the husband and wife are both still alive, but seriously wounded. The video shows Jeffrey Spade deliberately walking over to them. He's shouting profanities at them, and then he shoots them again at close range, killing them both.
We have 2 victims in the street.
I don't know, man. I don't know about that one.
I'll tell you about it because you don't want to speak on it. That was brutal. That was. I'm gonna just be real, but you fuck with the wrong motherfucker that day. That's real. That nigga was not playing. I'm sorry for my language. I apologize, but that's just what it is. That's hey, look, this ain't no kids show. It's for grown folks. Let your balls hang when you watch this. He was not the one to play with.
Sound like he was disgruntled to me.
Yeah. I mean, look, they must have been dealing with this back and forth. He just didn't throw a nutty today, and I'm running the play. Y'all was fucking with this dude prior to this. You got, man, how you out there with your woman woofing on somebody? He way in the back. Rule 1, hey, girl, take your ass in the house. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna be woofing and talking to nobody in that fashion at all over some snow, let alone I ain't got no weapon to protect myself. I'm in the middle of the street banging on him. Man, I ain't gonna be doing none of that. You got the snow, you good. Dude went back there and had that chopper on. He wasn't playing.
It looked like it was cold as a motherfucker out there.
It's brutal. I didn't do it. I'm only looking at the content. Hey, look, there was some people that lost their lives. You know why? Because they was playing with the wrong person. This is the author. This is the show. It's not a game. Stop thinking everybody playing. Stop thinking everybody just mouthing. That's a fine illustration of that man was just talking. There it was. Stop playing with people. Stop thinking everything is a game. That's taught to you. That's found out in the internet. That's accessible. Yeah, you can watch this and finish to talk crazy while you sitting down. But check it out. Playing like that, that's the kind of folks you need to watch out for. And you don't know what ethnicity or race or gender they might be. Be careful in these streets. Hands down.
Good one. Good. Everybody got a little nutty in them.
Run the play, coach.
Brand new video tonight showing the moment 2 masked men robbed an armored car security guard at gunpoint. We first told you about this story in our newscast at 4 o'clock. Those suspects even started shooting at one point, hitting businesses near Glenmont Drive and Rampart Street. Our Bill Spencer joins us live there now with a closer look at that video. Bill?
Christine, a very dramatic attempted armed robbery taking place this afternoon right here at the Senior 1% check cashing place. The 2 armed gunmen out to steal a huge bag full of cash that was being delivered here by an armored car company. It's 12:50 this afternoon, and the bright red Dunbar armored truck pulls into place at the Senior 1% check cashing store. Within seconds, 2 armed gunmen, one of them carrying an assault rifle, raced from their truck to attack the armored car delivery man who was carrying a bag full of money.
The Dunbar security guard, he was delivering money to the location. He went inside the business. 2 suspects came running in, one armed with what appeared to be an AK-47, the other one with a pistol. In the video, it appears that the suspects shoot at the Dunbar security guard, knocking him to the ground, and then they run off with his bag and flee the location.
Here you see the gunmen fleeing the shooting scene, one of them carrying that big bag of cash, running as fast as they can to this black Ford pickup truck before driving off with their stolen money. Now those 2 armed gunmen are at this point on loose.
Yeah. That's what you call timing. Timing is everything when you're pulling off a lick. And they was there at the right time, the right place, in the right situation. Good thing no one was hurt.
Yeah, that was cops and robbers right there. That's the robbers on the mission. They knew what they was doing. They wasn't playing. It's about their business. They had in their heart, they needed that bag. And when they got that bag, once again, another blessed moment. Nobody perished, scared to death.
Probably.
Yeah. Robbery.
Oh, yeah.
It was robbery. We know it was robbery.
Ain't no telling how long they've been casing the joint, how long they've been keeping an eye out for the timing every week or however often that truck comes to unload the bag, but they were there waiting, front and center.
Yeah, they wasn't playing. They wasn't playing at all. But
he had the AK too, so if anybody acted any kind of fool, I'm sure he was gonna get busy.
I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we don't want to dabble on this. Like I say, we don't condone it. We did, we robbed folks, in our past. So we know, like I said early in the show, we know what it looked like. We know that hunger. When you hungry, they was hungry. So due to that, we're going to go on to the next clip. Next thing.
Then the conversation turned to why so many people carry guns.
Why do you think people of our demographic, our age, African Americans, gotta carry a gun?
Gates stopped mid-sentence when a man who used to be in the rap group with Easy Money started yelling obscenities about Gates being in his neighborhood.
That perception shit'll get you killed, boy.
You know?
You think this is, nigga?
And now this is a live prime example of why it's so volatile in New Orleans.
You hide behind a camera, boy. Never come in my hood and disrespect on no mother camera or nothing.
This is
now move that camera and talk that shit. Move that camera then. This the white man. This the white man.
Why you didn't wait this rap? All right, homie. Why you didn't wait till the camera was gone and did all that?
It was obvious it was time for us to leave, which we started to do. Then Easy Money, his son by his side, and his friend confronted the man. And a conflict that should have been settled with words turned violent. And we must warn you, what happens here is graphic and frightening.
Don't flush it. Man, he asked for that, man. Don't flush it, man. Let's go call you. It's about the gates and shit. Back up.
And while the two men fought, the little boy stood nearby witnessing everything. Then we saw the gun and realized this could have turned deadly.
Yep. It's not a game. Wrong one. Messing with the wrong one. There you go. For the viewers and the listeners, more for the listeners, because the viewer can see what they saw. For the audio, there was a reporter doing a report about a gentleman in this community he grew up in. Another individual that happens to know the guy they was doing the interview with. They were business partners in them writing a song or a group some time ago. He came up, said some things disrespectful, out of line. He should have waited till those people, the camera people, had left. He chose not to, and he got disciplined and got his weapon took from him. That was ugly. Thank God that cameraman was there because,
First of all, the reason why he probably was mouthing off because he knew he was heated. That's number one. Secondly, it was very disrespectful for him to do that. I'm going to just give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he was lit. Homie had his son there. You know, when you invade people's space, when they got their family and kids around, there's no coming back from that. That's disrespectful. And thirdly, he was talking shit with shower shoes, slippers on. He was already at a disadvantage with that being said right there. You don't never try to, talk shit and create a problem with some slippers on. So yeah, that was all bad there. And then he got his pistol took from him. What the little kid said in it, that could have went all bad. Thank God it did not.
That could have went awfully bad. Once again, I'm grateful it did not. We do not condone that. Having children around, but the man with the child wouldn't advocate no violence. This is just another individual. There's 456 the conversation that's being burglarized in the California Penal Code. That's what 456 means. That's a burglary in California and the California Penal Code. I just use it as a slang word. So anyway, he jumped up he had that coming, dog. He's very lucky, that cameraman. If there had not been that cameraman there, that could have been, they'd have found him probably like laying up there like that, swole like a ballpark Frank. We don't know none of these people. We just
No.
look at the content that's on the internet and we reviewing it and having our comments about it. And we're not saying what's right or wrong, but he was out of pocket. We are saying where we come from and how we grew up, dude was out of pocket. The one that got his firearm took from him.
Yeah, he
You know,
was
he's out of
totally
pocket
wrong, man.
in
To
different levels right there
disrespect
for doing that.
to disrespect that brother in front of his kid, man. You know, you don't do that.
Real talk. Because the brother was real humble and respectful. He was just having a conversation with the reporter, so he had the thing going on. Anyway, we're gonna push past. Control, run the next footage, please.
The gunman who killed 3 law enforcement officers in Baton Rouge searched online for the home addresses of the white officers involved in the shooting death of Alton Sterling. Now, that's one of the new details released today after a year-long investigation by the East Baton Rouge District Attorney's Office. Paul Murphy has some of those chilling recordings and has this report.
A prosecutor's report released new details about last summer's ambush in Baton Rouge that left 3 law enforcement officers dead and 3 others injured.
The guy with a rifle next to the building.
The report included a recording of the police radio at the scene of the shooting. This is East Baton Rouge Deputy Brad Garofalo minutes before he was shot and killed by the lone gunman Gavin Long.
Oh, shot fired, officer down, shot fired, officer down. Got a city officer down, shot fired. Shot fired on airline.
According to the report, Long spotted Baton Rouge police officer Matthew Jarrell walking inside the Be Quick food store on Airline Highway. Garofalo, who was in plain clothes, joined Jarrell in the store. They are soon alerted about a man in black fatigues carrying a rifle in the area. District Attorney Hiller Moore described what happened when the 2 officers leave the store to investigate and other officers arrive on the scene, including Officer Chad Montgomery.
And here comes Montgomery, turns and fires at Montgomery twice. And here how he moves back and forth as Garofalo is engaging him, shooting at him 13 times.
Long kills Garofalo, then shoots and kills Jarrell, who was lying helplessly on the ground. Long also killed Officer Montrell Jackson before he was taken out by police.
Oh, he is down.
The gunman wrote a suicide note describing what he was about to do as a necessary evil in order to create substantial change within America's police force and judicial system. Paul Murphy, Eyewitness News.
The report describes shooter
Woo!
Yes, that was tough. That was a tough one. Easy. That's an easy one, but it was a tough one.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. That was life's lost in that clip.
Yeah.
And I put it when I saw it, and I was like, damn. And it put me in the mind of the Capitol Hill on January the 6th of 2021. That guy, the shooter, was trained military guy.
You could tell.
Yeah, he wasn't no regular, no street dude. No,
you could tell.
This dude was trained by the United States government. USA taught this, man. U.S. military taught this. What branch, I don't know. Marines, I think they might have said. Whew, this dude is dangerous. You know what I'm saying? He and whatever got on his psyche, man, that was the wrong dude. He was not playing. So I look at that and I say to myself, a lot of the law enforcement, and some firefighters and some first responders are all like reserve and former military. Understand what I'm saying? So once they got the military, they come and get these jobs. You get these guys and girls, or guys and women, that go over, like they went in the first Desert Storm, Operation in Vietnam. They had the option was Operation Rolling Thunder. So and then in Kuwait, and then in the new war we had. A lot of them was on kill mode. Like they over there slaughtering folks. They doing what they trained to do. You know what I'm saying? It's just the verbiage don't sound right coming out of my mouth. But they're trained to kill. And then all of a sudden they over there, they doing their thing over there. And all of a sudden they come over here, come back home, they just got to cut it off. Someone don't know how to cut it off. You can see this. He know how to cut it off. Y'all trained him, and You know, y'all didn't he mustn't go to the VA. Y'all must didn't understand if he was complaining. Some set this brother off.
Yep, yep.
It's sad that you train them to do it, and then they do it, and then they come back home. They just supposed to stop. You know what I'm saying? Some of them do, and some of them can't. Some have problems. They got to do with drugs, alcohol. It brings off into their relationships. You know, they traumatized. So I'm just looking at this same thing with people that go to the penitentiary for crimes.
Oh,
Been
yeah.
in the penitentiary for a long time. And then they come home and they got to deal with all this new age stuff going on. They call it reentry. You got to reenter. And the life didn't change since she was gone 15, 20 years ago. There's some different stuff going on. So it's shocking. So I can understand the reentry part, how I try to adjust. A lot of the brothers and sisters in the military and the brothers and sisters coming off these prison yards, no matter federal or state or what state you're in, they need some counseling, man. They need some counseling, man. Somebody ain't gonna be helped. If you give them medicine or not, somebody ain't gonna be helped. Let's keep it real. You just can't reverse these things. You got where I'm coming from? So
right.
I just brought that up to bring that into the Capitol Hill thing. Is a lot of those people that was up in there was either former military or reserve military, or I don't know, some was active military or
probably
active firefighters that was involved in the storming the Capitol. Man, it's tricky. You don't know who to trust out here. You get lost in the sauce. You know, once you call them, we talking to the square people, the old Biden citizens, the good Samaritans. We're talking about those people. Understand what I'm saying? This ain't got nothing. This street shit is just street shit. You deal with crazy maniacs all the time. You from the streets. That ain't nothing new to you. But when it crosses over into a productive sense, going to work 9 to 5, going to church, mosque, temple, whatever their religion is, they're doing all allegedly right stuff. And so they're acting out now more than ever before. So, you know, how can I trust, you know, man, you get lost in the sauce right here real fast and real quick, man. So I just had to run that play right quick, talk that talk right quick. You want to say something, Junior? We're going to run into the next clip. Yeah, run the next clip.
The television news industry has understandably been stunned at these murders. Reporters and photographers know that there are risks associated with the job, but of course this was something totally out of the blue. And 10 News reporter Steve Fiorina is live. And Steve, you're well aware that you could be a target.
No question, Kim. News crews often set up in the dark in sketchy neighborhoods, but you can be in the daylight in Balboa Park and strange things can happen. Someone with an agenda coming right at you. Reporter Allison Parker and photographer Adam Ward were doing a live interview for a feature story about a celebration at a Virginia lake. Far from a war zone, but it became a killing floor.
When you hear about or you think about a news reporter being gunned down in the line of duty, you think to yourself, well, they must be in some other part of the world to be in that kind of danger.
They were shot down by a former co-worker with a grudge, a man who'd been on air, trusted by the television audience.
We invite news anchors into our homes at night. They're a part of our family. So I can imagine in that community, there's an awful lot of disappointment and really just gut-wrenching, really terror, if you will, that this man who so many people probably enjoyed watching on the news was capable of this.
Patrick, who's also a prosecutor, said there were warning signs. Williams bought his gun 2 days after the Charleston church shootings in June, when 9 people were massacred. Classic copycat killing.
That kind of thing sometimes can be a trigger. Now, we know that's true in this case because that's what it says in the manifesto that this man saw. In fact, that was one of the things he said actually drove him over the edge to make the decision to engage in this morning's senseless carnage.
Completely senseless and coming 2 years.
Yeah, well, yeah, once again, we got somebody who got no criminal background, got a job. Something went down. I don't know if he had beef with him. This is my assessment of looking at what was discussed. He had an issue with them. He just random picked them out the blue to do the thing to, loss of life. That clip had the loss of life in it. And again, man, with a job, productive citizen, up to that point that he went over the edge. In terms of, square people living life, he went over the edge. Yeah, so that was brutal. I got to tell you, man, he wasn't playing. Real talk, not for play. He wasn't playing on what they did to him. You guarantee he just didn't seek them out, in my opinion. And I'm a street professional. You know what I'm saying? My degree comes from the streets. My pedigree comes from the streets. And other than that, something was done that caused him to do that. But don't make it right, but something went down. So we're going to go to the next clip. Control, run the next clip. Well, we won't. It is now just the J Fomby YouTube channel time. Let's get down to the get down. When he able to run the next clip, he will run the next clip. This is what happens when you're doing it live. We're not doing no pre-recording. This is live news right here. It's all kind of things be going down. So you ain't gonna get this nowhere else. No other podcast. For the listeners, we're doing a live show. Things happen and et cetera, et cetera. We're gonna keep it pushing though. If Junior come back on and got something to say, we'll be good with that. But if you don't, Control, if you can go to the next footage, that'll be good. Well, since we can't, we'll ask anybody that's listening or not listening and looking. If you got any questions you'd like to ask, you can text in some questions and I'll answer them. If you got anything you want to ask to see if this is a real live show. Come on, squares. Y'all everywhere. What's the deal? If it ain't nothing but 3 of y'all, somebody tap in and say something. Okay, I'm going to wait. What's going on? Greetings, world. What's happening? What's happening? What's the deal? Can we talk now? Yeah. So, you know what? I'm tired of talking to y'all, man. We showed y'all too much, too rich for y'all blood, man. Y'all ain't gonna be able to handle this. So I'm gonna tell y'all something. You ain't gonna get this nowhere else. This is On the Line with JJ Fomby and Junior podcast show. We on Roku TV. We on Vimeo on demand. We on Apple Podcasts. We on YouTube. We on Spotify. We on iHeartRadio. We on I forgot the other one. We on all the platforms, all the audio digital platforms we on there. We're gonna do it like this. We got any questions? Nah. All right. Until we talk to y'all again, man. Shout out to Digital Soapbox. Shout out to Wire Entertainment. Shout out to the Wire Lines Live and all. I'm gonna say something to one of my homeboys. Rest in peace, man. I send my respect and love to his family. My boy Thin Dog, man, aka Chaos, man. Gonna miss you, bro. It was a good homeboy, man. Glad to be in your life, man, and ride the journey. God bless you and your family, brother. Rest in peace, man. We out of here, Artist Shield.
Every day on the line. Every day on the line. Every day Digital Soapbox. Every day on the line. I remain every day on the line.